All right. Hello, everybody. I think we are, I'll give it a couple of seconds here just to make sure that we are live. And it looks like we are. All right. Hi, everybody. And I am Scott, Scorpio Sun Tarot. And if you don't know this lovely lady over here, this is Michelle Marie from Astrological Tarot. And she has agreed to be my guest for today, and I'm so happy that she decided to come on my channel. I was on her channel a couple of days ago, and that was a lot of fun. We had some really great readings, and friend Tanis, her friend Tanis was on there with us, so that was a lot of fun. I will go ahead and do our hellos, and then we will do a little chat with Michelle and find out what she does. I think you guys will find this really interesting. She does all kinds of astrology, so I'll wait though because I'm eager to just jump in right now. But we'll go ahead and say hi to a few people. So we got Jackie Jacaranda is first in. Thank you, Jackie, for being here. And Miss Wendy, I started to say Miss Jackie again. Hello, Wendy. Glad you're here. I hope you're feeling better. And let me see, Linda is here. Hello, Linda. And Emerald Buddha. Hey, Emerald Buddha. Welcome.
Cool name.
Yes, yes. And she is very sweet. Very awesome lady there. Speaking of awesome ladies, we have Lady Silver in the house. Hello, welcome back. Hi again to you as well. And I had a I had one earlier. Let's see who's messaging me. Okay, nobody. So we had one earlier with Psychic Sun Psychic Jean. I don't know if you know her, but
Mm.
that was really fun too. So a lot of people are coming back. So I appreciate you guys who were with me in the this morning and going to be with me again. It was early this afternoon, I guess, for most people. Hey there, Lisa. Welcome. And it looks like Jane came from your channel. So welcome,
Yeah.
Jane.
Good to see you, Jane.
And Nightbot came from your channel. Hello, Nightbot.
Sorry about that, Jane. Nightbot can get a little frisky.
Oh, as we coming, okay. Hi, Samantha. Welcome. And let me see. Did I say hi to Jessica? I don't think so. Hey,
Good to see
Jessica
you,
Lynn.
Jessica.
And oh my goodness, trouble. No, just kidding. This is my friend Tony. This is Tony. She draws little squirrels because she knows I like to scroll out. I don't like to scroll out, but I do scroll out. My attention will go over here and I'll go squirrel. So she has a thing where she has to do her squirrels with me.
That's cute.
Glad you're here, Tony. Haven't seen you in a while. Hi, Amy. Welcome, welcome to you as well. And let me see. Scrolling, scrolling. Still scrolling. And I think that I have got everybody. And if I did miss you, I apologize. If you are in my chat, please, please, please go over to Astrological Tarot, to Michelle's channel. Her information is down below. And go over and give her some subscribers, please. You will love her channel. And yeah, if you are new or you are watching on replay, hi, and hope you guys subscribe to and subscribe to Michelle, please. And yeah, that would be awesome. And ring the bell is free; it doesn't cost a thing. And if you want to join the chatters over here, then you're more than welcome to. But we ask that you be subscribed for 5 minutes or longer. So hit the subscribe, and then you'll be able to chat. So in case you're trying to chat and you don't know why, that's why. So, and it keeps the, like we were talking about the little bots out.
Hmm.
Usually we would say, right? As I told Michelle it would, and then we had still had a couple come in on hers. So that was interesting. But
It was Facebook though, so it's
oh, it was
yeah, it
Facebook.
was mostly Facebook. Yeah.
Okay, okay, that makes sense then. Totally. All right.
Thank you,
So
Wendy.
yes, yes. Please hit the thumbs up at Michelle's channel too. Yes, thank you guys. And please go over there and subscribe and do what you got to do and give her some subs. That would be awesome. Um, Now, no questions until I give further notice. Please, I appreciate that. On asking for a reading, we will get to that point. But right now, I want to do a little chat with Michelle. If you have any questions, for Michelle, Michelle, is it okay if they ask in chat, questions about astrology or
Of course.
your journey?
Yeah. Ask
Awesome.
away, guys.
Awesome. So go ahead and do that if you would like to ask any questions. We're going to be talking to Michelle about her channel, but then we're going to talk about astrology and how she is into Vedic astrology, which I have been confused and also very enamored, I guess you could say, with it for several years. So I'm been really excited to have Michelle on here to straighten me out and figure out what that's all about. But Michelle, can you tell me about your channel and how you got started, if you want to?
Of course. Yeah. So, oh my gosh, I started studying astrology when I was 9 years old.
Wow.
So, it was kind of my way of getting to know people because I grew up in the military and we moved all the time. It's like 6 months somewhere else. And so, uh, it was my way of kind of creating an icebreaker to get to know other kids. And it started off when I went to a Girl Scout trip up in Hawaii. Uh, one of the places we were stationed, uh, we were getting our astronomy badge, and they put all of the telescopes out, and we had to identify the various constellations and show some kind of proficiency in that area before we could get our badges. And I'm 9, and I'm with my best friend at the time, and she looks up at Delphinus and goes, "Oh, that's my star group." And I'm like, "What do you mean your star group?" And she goes, "That's Aquarius." And I go, "What's an Aquarius?" And she goes, "My stone is amethyst." And I'm like, "What's an amethyst?" So yeah, so then I went to the library. This is back when you had to like go get a little index card and like write down the number and go to the librarian. It was all and then look at the
Oh yeah.
number, back in the day before internet and all that. So I went to the library and I checked out a bunch of books, and I just got really, really into it. And when by the time I got to college, I was pretty good at it. And that's when I started doing it more professionally. I worked in a metaphysical clinic out on near the university I was going to. And which back then I got $20 a chart, and $20 an hour basically back then was a lot of money. So that was back in the
Right.
90s when like your rent was like between 250 and $400. So I was
Right.
like the coolest job ever because I was doing a bunch of other things to make money, and this was like enjoyable. Um, so then so I was like I was doing what I loved in my late teens, early 20s, which was amazing in addition to a bunch of other stuff. But then I married an evangelical Christian, and that I had to basically go back into the closet until I was able to kind of get out of that. Because
Right.
they weren't Christians. They were something else. So,
I
um,
I
yeah,
gotcha.
so I got out of that, and the guy I'm married to now is really supportive of my practice, and he was like, "You should." And my divorce is when I got into tarot. So that was like end of 2012 into 2013. I started giving myself personal readings and taking workshops in the tarot, and it got me through my divorce because my intuition was nothing. And that's also my Saturn return, by the way, too, guys. So anyone who's been around that lived over the age of 29 knows what that is. Um,
Right.
and so the tarot kind of helped me through that whole period. And then people just started asking me for readings, and I just give them for free to friends and family, lots of practice. And uh, then got into that professionally in addition to my astrology practice. And so I started off with Western astrology, then I got into Chinese, and then I studied a little bit of Egyptian, Mayan, things like that. But then Vedic really struck me, and I've been doing that for a few years now. So I graduated from Camilla Sutton's Academy, and now I'm still taking her advanced classes and things like that. And I also teach workshops and conferences for her and other organizations as well on Vedic stuff. So
Wow, that is awesome. So, I know a little bit about Western astrology, not a lot, but I was going to ask you, where do we start with Vedic? I've already think I'm on the wrong path, so you can straighten me out because I thought Vedic was more Eastern,
it
and then
is.
oh, it is. So Chinese, and does that
Chinese is different
go
than
into?
Vedic. Yeah, it's
Really?
different.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us about Vedic astrology, if you don't mind, and basically what the difference is between that and Western astrology. And
Yeah.
yeah,
So Vedic astrology is the oldest form of astrology. It was developed by the rishis, also known as the sages of India. And they were scientists and scribes of what's called Vedas, which are sacred texts. And they developed this spiritual science as a way of ensuring constant renewal and progress of, spiritual tradition, culture, things like that. So another name for Vedic astrology is Jyotish, and that translates to science of light. So the light represents the divinity within all of us. And so what Vedic astrology does is it allows you to expand your cosmic awareness and reveal your really unique spiritual gifts and also your weaknesses that you've acquired over many births, over many lifetimes. And if you choose to implement like this ancient wisdom into your life and some of the remedies, you can advance the development of your soul and lead a very productive and fulfilling life now into the future, especially if you believe in the concept of what's called karma, which is everything that we do has an equal and opposite reaction. So it's like if I do X, I can expect Y to happen later. And it can be my next birth, or it could happen within this lifetime, depending on when the debt comes due. And Saturn is usually responsible for that. He's the karmic teacher. So basically, the grahas they're also known as planets, and the nakshatras are stars. Provide kind of a map of your soul's journey, and as you learn Vedic astrology, you can allow us wisdom to kind of expand your awareness beyond your physical human manifestation, and achieve the spark of the divine within. That's like the ultimate goal, is to become one with the cosmos, one with source. And
right.
so, what Vedic astrology does is it finds the little holes that we need to work on in order to address those things. So I can look at when karmic lessons or challenges might be coming. I can look at when big, beneficial, beautiful things are coming in your chart, because this is a place of opposites. It's pain and pleasure. Um, but uh, yeah, so and there is a bit of difference between Western and Vedic, because the way that Western is calculated is based on our sun. So it's based on our little solar system and the giant galaxy that we have. Okay. Whereas Vedic is based on the center of the galaxy. It doesn't consider our sun to be the center of the cosmos. It considers the cosmos to be the center of the cosmos. So the
Okay.
math is a little bit different. But if you were to take a telescope out right now, put it on tripod, look up, the Vedic calculation would be the math in the sky. And when I found that out, I went, that's different.
Wow.
um, Vedic astrology. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, I mean, Atlantis is one of the my friend Tanis, she's really into star seeds and extraterrestrials and past things like that. We just did a galactic conference with her, and she went into Atlantis and all of that. But
Oh, that's awesome. Well, that would
yeah.
make sense since you say it's the oldest form in Atlantis. A lot
Mm,
of people, I've been reading a book from Dolores Cannon, and it's about, you know, um, hypnosis, but they learn, all kinds of information about the past, not past lives, but about the past in general. And they were explaining this Atlantis and how they had even bigger civilization and more technology than we do now, and this was
mhm,
way before the Stone Age, way before anything. They had so much information, and they actually had crystals to light up the city, and it's
mhm.
beautiful to listen to. But I'm wondering if that is correct. That could definitely be where Vedic astrology came from, because it could be from that kind of type of wisdom that they were allowed to have back then. Yeah.
Well, we go through something called what are yugas, and right now we're in the Kali Yuga, which is the more material age. The yugas that came before us, which represent eras, were much more advanced. We're
Right.
in the least advanced yuga right now. It doesn't really feel that way because we have all of this technology. But when I say least
Right.
advanced, is we're not really as much into spirit as we are in previous yugas. We're not as tied into source. There's a separation that occurs in Kali Yuga. The way they described it was, if you look at Sat Yuga, which is the golden age, that would be like a cow with four legs. And then with each
Right.
yuga, you take away a leg. We're basically a one-legged cow in Kali Yuga. So
Oh,
uh, it's very based on it's basically the way it was described in one of the Puranas, was that Kali Yuga, because it's so engrossed and enmeshed in the material experience that we have on Earth, it's closer to the netherworlds than it is to a more human experience, that the only thing we can do to achieve a higher plane of existence is to remember a name of the divine at death. So it could be Jesus, it could be Rama, it could be Buddha, it could be whatever. But if our number one thought at death is God, we can go to where God is. So,
Right.
or if you're really, really advanced, you can become one with God. But that's like the
Right.
Buddhists describe that as it's like a bird carrying a scarf across a mountain range and waiting for the mountain range to come down to sand. That's how long it takes for us
Right.
to
Right.
achieve something like that. But yep, we're all here doing it.
Right. Right. I'm not even sure what this. Maybe you can know what real sky is. Does real sky fit into Vedic?
If you could tell me what real sky is, I haven't heard of.
What's real sky, Tony?
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting too.
Hmm.
Um, so let me see. Linda said, I mean, you can transcribe all the planets to a circular chart if you wanted to, but there's no need.
Well, Western is a circular chart like the one behind me. And then Vedic is kind of a rectangle, and it comes in Eastern, Southern, and Northern styles. But I prefer the Southern because it goes in a it goes in a circle, and that's what I'm used to seeing on the Western
Right,
chart. It's
right.
just easier for me to see the yogas, which are energies in the chart.
So,
So
how are the signs different as far as for Vedic compared to Western?
same signs, Aries through Pisces.
Signs.
But each sign has a nakshatra, and
Okay,
each nakshatra has a pada, which is a foot, and each foot has it. So it and then there's different vargas, which are degrees of charts. So it's very, very advanced, and it kind of goes, it drills from a very expansive view of the way that we look and interact to a very, very specific view.
okay,
But yeah, it goes from Aries to Pisces, and then within those there are 28 nakshatras, 27 that are used in our birth charts. The 28th is Abhijit, which is used to indicate victories, things like that, because it's a star of victory. So if anyone has a planet in that, the planets are basically off of you. You can do whatever you want during that time. Like for instance, Barack Obama has his Jupiter in Abhijit, and he started his Jupiter Mahadasha when he ran for president. He never lost because it's the star of
right.
victory. So there was no way for him to lose. And
Oh,
on another way of this is Charles Manson has it in his chart. Venus is in Abhijit, and he was able to get women to murder a bunch of people. So you can use it for
yes,
good or you can use it for evil. It just depends on how you use the energy.
that's
So
interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. So if I am a Halloween Scorpio, would I still be a Halloween Scorpio in Vedic astrology?
what I think you are is Chitra Nakshatra. Let me go ahead and pull out I haven't seen your chart, but based on the October 31st dates and the fact that you have a
Right.
moon and a sun there, which tells me new moon, um, Chitra would I think be, it's called the brilliant one. Okay.
Oh wow.
The star of opportunity. It's the power to accumulate merit. I think that's why you're so popular. It's inspiring, it's elegance, it's charm. My guru has Chitra. Design, skill, purpose, and um, it's uh, it's animal is the female tiger, okay,
Okay.
and it's Trimurti. It's represented by Vishnu, but the main deity is Vishwakarma. And what that is in the celestial architect. So that what the celestial architect does to Chitra Nakshatra is because it's encased in the Thomas of Earth. We you love the word nakshatra, that's awesome. It means star in Sanskrit. So what the celestial architect does throughout your life is he sees this block of stone that that you created over many, many births, and then he chips away at the stuff and to uh, show the beautiful statue, which is the divine within. So chitras do have a really tough start to life, and they tend to come through a lot of suffering and challenges and things like that, but it's to mold them and to reveal the diamond, which represents the divine there within.
I love that.
So yeah, it's a beautiful nakshatra to be born in. You know, it's very soft and mild and tender, and it's yeah, it's a good energy. But yeah, this is what I think you are. So
So I noticed on the top of that it said Virgo to Libra, right? So
yes,
would I be considered either a Virgo or a Libra?
Libra.
According to my, I
Hmm.
would be a Libra.
You're
Okay.
right at the very beginning of Libra because there's a 25-degree difference. That's why I thought you might be. Uh, yeah, that's why I thought you might be Chitra. But I haven't done your chart. The second one to Chitra, which is another possibility, because your moon could be in one and your sun could be in another, because I don't know your exact degrees. The
I
next
do, but I
one,
don't have them with me, unfortunately.
well, that's okay. The
Yeah.
next one is Hasta. This is what Tanis is. And
Okay.
this is the deity is Savitar. And so it's a light deity. And so it's basically the power to manifest something and put it in one's hands. It also gives your hands power, like you have power in your hands. And she's a professional Reiki healer. Another Hasta that I know is Amy Zerner. She's a famous designer and artist, and she makes a ton of amazing decks and books. She has Hasta hands, and she's able to literally take like divine energetic visions and put them into her tapestries and into her cards and things like that. Those are the more positive aspects of this nakshatra. The negative ones is if you can look at the description here. So it's skilled, merciless, graspy, handing, order, arrangement, detail, busy, cooperation. And then it says cooperation and punctuality. But up here it says pickpockets. So you can use your golden hands to steal really easily. Like you could be a really good thief with this nakshatra, or you could be an amazing healer. It just depends on how you use the energy.
Right, and that's the same with Western astrology too, as far as what I know, which is not a lot. But you can have positive and negative, aspects to every single sign, and people when they say, you know, oh, I can't, I don't get along with anybody who's a Taurus, or I don't like anyone who's a Taurus, whatever. I think that's I don't know. I think that's probably not correct because you could have a Taurus that acts completely different who is on the positive aspect than who is on the negative aspect. Right?
Yeah, and
Because
you're only
we all
looking at
have
one
positive
planet.
and negative. Yeah, and Scorpio too. We get a bad rap. I mean, just talk about our sting all the time, and it's true. That they tend to have a temper, but it's because we're emotional and we're so passionate about
Mhm,
what we do. But I learned that I don't have to be in those negative vibrations. I can be in the higher vibrations
mhm,
and be the positive aspects of that sign. Plus, you're not even counting the moon sign, the rising, the north node, the south node, all
mhm.
those different things. So, and I think that for me, I think I might be more of a Capricorn because, as far as Western goes,
Mm.
because I'm a Scorpio, but at the same time, I have my moon, my rising, and my north node in Capricorn.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes,
Interesting.
all three. So well, I'm just curious if you don't mind. What do you think about that? Because I haven't identified with the Capricorn or any Earth elements as much as I do with the Scorpio side. So until kind of recently, a
Do you
little
know
bit.
what degree you are in Capricorn?
I do not. I have it on astro.com, but I forgot to print it out so that I can
Okay.
for this. Maybe we can do it
Well,
later.
let's see. If you are a Capricorn, that would put you closer to Sagittarius in Vedic, which is really interesting. And based on, let's see, you could be, if you're toward you could be Uttara Shada. Uttara Shada is represented by the mongoose. Do you have like okay, I'm not gonna you can tell me yes, you don't have to answer this question, but did you have issues finding a relationship?
Yes.
Okay. So the mongoose is the only animal without a mate in Vedic astrology, and it's very difficult for Uttara Ashadas to find love and relationships because their main goal is to serve humanity. An example of someone in Uttara Ashada would be like Martin Luther King Jr. He did get married, but his
Right.
entire life was dedicated to the collective. So it's still possible to have a relationship as an Uttara Ashada, but it might come later, or it might be someone that you change the world with My husband has his son in this, and he didn't marry me until he was 65. So,
Wow.
and before he was a yogi teacher. He was really, really big into community service and serving the city and getting into, all of that kind of stuff, civil service, things like that.
Right.
He was married to his work. And then he met me and I started working with him and we became a couple. So Uttara Ashadas tend to have to find someone in their environment that can work with them toward a cause, if that makes any sense.
Right. Yeah, it does.
But
It completely. I was single for, I guess, going on 15, 20 years. I don't even count
mhm.
because I'm single and happy. And
Yeah.
that's how I've, for the most part, how I've
Mhm.
been. So, but I always was wondering where that came from in this Scorpio, because Scorpios tend to be so passionate and
Mhm.
they want that connection so badly too with another person because they're emotional. So
Yeah,
yeah,
totally.
but I can definitely agree with that. See where you're coming from when you say that. I resonate with that a lot. So let me see any questions here. How come Western astrology became more popular than Vedic? That's a great question.
Well, marketing. And Vedic is more based in India. It's extremely, I mean, it's part of the culture in India. So if you're getting married, if you're having a baby, if you are planning a big event, you go to an astrologer. It's like going to the doctor in India.
Right.
You can get a PhD, you can get a master's degree in Vedic astrology, and it's considered to be a legitimate science. Unfortunately, in America, we have how do I say this? Uh, we are very, how do I say, Anglo-Saxon, Christian, Puranic,
Yeah.
and the Catholic Church is not a fan of astrology,
Of course.
and neither are many Christian sects. And
Right.
so, because in my opinion, humble opinion, is it cuts into their marketing. They want the money. It's like,
Oh
don't go
yeah.
to the midwife. And this goes back centuries, guys. This isn't just now. This goes back centuries. What the
Right.
churches would do was they would come through towns, and this is in Europe and in the early North America. The church would come through towns. They would find the midwives. They would find the astrologers. They would find the herbalists. They would find the metaphysical practitioners, and they'd kill them
Oh wow.
if they didn't convert and give up their practice, because they didn't want the midwife getting the money. They didn't want the herbalist getting the money. They wanted the money to go to them, and if they weren't cured, then it's just your faith in God wasn't strong enough. I just read a lot about this. So,
Right.
there was a lot of demonization of astrology. It was watered down. It kind of became this bubblegum wrapper magazine type thing, and it wasn't taken as seriously as the other sciences. Now, the other sciences were able to make a name for themselves as time went on, like biology, like chemistry. Those things were also not liked by the church because they didn't want the doctors taking their money from the priests. So it was
Right.
basically it was a marketplace for what people thought would help them. And this is nothing. I was raised Catholic. I'm a confirmed Catholic, so this is nothing against Catholicism. But it's also like every religion on the planet, and nothing's perfect. And so I think that's where a lot of issues with astrology. Yep, killing midwives because they knew more than the men. Oh yeah, well, yeah, midwives. It's kind of like, I don't know what you guys' political views are. I'm not going to bring up any politics, clearly, but we have a crisis in America with women's health right now. Women, they're dealing with sepsis. There are little girls that can't get the care that they need. It's pretty bad in America right now, to the point where our infant mortality rate and maternity mortality rates are going through the roof in the last year, because men did think they decided that they know more than the doctors do. And you know,
Right.
so yeah, I'm a bit of a feminist. So I'm sorry, Scott. I know you are too, so I thought that would be safe to say.
I'm a feminist. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. If it, I, you probably heard me say, if I, I think that God or source is genderless, but if they were to have a gender, it's definitely a she, because the women are the creators. You
Yeah.
guys are the creators. You guys that have the hard part in life where you have to do the painful stuff that I'm like, no, 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 no. There's
Yep.
no way I could do that. So, that's, but there was a question here I thought was interesting here, warrior girl. Do you know all the symbols and animals for all the signs? I figured you probably did, but I didn't know that
Yes.
Scorpio was also a phoenix. But that makes perfect sense, like rising from the
Yeah, I
ashes.
actually have Scorpio and Karma cards right here. Let me show you guys. This is a deck from Monte Farber, and he is just a fabulous human being. He made this when he was 38 years old. So it's 1988, I believe this came out. I do have the original deck. But you see here, there's the scorpion and the snake. You see
Yep.
that there? And then
Yes.
if I pull the eighth house, let me get the eighth house, which is ruled by Pluto and
Scorpio.
Scorpio in the
Right.
Western context. So let me find my houses here. I use these for readings, so they're all mixed up. It has, of course, it's going to be like the last one. Where'd it go? Where's my eighth house? He's hiding from me. But the eighth house is all about transformation. It represents like chronic illnesses and diseases. It also represents inheritances. And, but yeah, so here is the symbol for the eighth house, which is Scorpio, and that's a phoenix.
Oh wow. Okay.
Hmm. Yeah. So my favorite thing about Scorpio is there's the story of the scorpion, the snake, and the eagle. And the scorpion is the first line of defense. So Scorpios tend to be very deep, very reserved. They tend to have a lot of secret knowledge, things like that. And when they feel threatened, they strike. But where is the stinger? It's right above their head. They can sting
Yeah.
themselves. Okay, so it's kind of like if they sting, it usually comes back and it blows back on them.
Oh wow.
Um,
That's
and
interesting.
then there's the snake. That's the second step in the Scorpio journey. And like it's a snake that keeps shedding its skin, keeps changing, keeps growing, keeps developing. And then down comes the eagle and gets the snake. And the eagle flies up high, and the eagle now has a perspective that's not personal. It's not in the dark. It's not just like protective like the scorpion or the snake. It's up in the air. So it's basically being able to take your emotions out of the situation, detach from them so that you can actually see things from a much bigger macro level. And then the eagle falls and is reborn as a phoenix. And that's where the transformation comes from. That's why it's associated with this eighth house.
Wow.
So,
I love
and there
that.
are animals that tie into each of the nakshatras too, which can help us choose the right partner for us as well. So that's
Oh
a lot of
wow.
fun. Yeah. That's
That
why I
is.
asked if you were Uttara Shada, which is the mongoose, and they have issues finding love. So that's why I was wondering about that.
Oh, interesting. That's really interesting. Well, there was one more question that I had. I think, let me see. I don't know if this is a question. And then I have one. But the cunning
Mm.
folks were the churches. Well, where do they think the pharmacy came from? Right. Pharmacy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
pharmaceuticals are basically, they're all money now, and they determine how the doctors make our medical decisions and things like that. So it's kind of scary, but
absolutely. And it's even scarier is the Food and Drug Administration. So
bingo.
what are they doing to keeping, to making people, possibly sick that they have to
Mhm.
go and, have medicine? Is it something that we're eating? Just not trying to go down that rabbit hole, but just a thought things that I think of at night. So, my question was, how do you integrate astrology, either Vedic or Western, into the tarot? And how?
Oh, yeah. So Vedic is okay. So Western kind of gives you a look at someone from an outside perspective, like it's your outer personality at birth. Whereas Vedic goes several divisions deep. It goes from your first chart, your birth chart, all the way down into your D60, which can tell me like the rawest karma of your soul, like who you are, without a body. Um, but uh, Tarot is able to tell a story. So, like, if I saw that someone was, let's say, in Saturn Mahadasha, and Saturn was in their sixth house of hidden enemies, I would pull some cards and say, oh, seven of swords, high priestess. Okay. You're the high priestess, my dear, and you have a thief in your midst. And Saturn is going to show you this hidden enemy in the next couple of weeks. So just be prepared for that. Something like that. And then she got back to me and said, yeah, I was living with the guy and he was getting into my computer and taking money out of my bank account when I wasn't looking, stuff like that. So
Right.
it's like someone comes to you, you see what planet is activated in their house. That's the Mahadasha. You see that it's in the house of hidden enemies, and you look at where Saturn is transiting in there in the sky, right now, and then you can kind of make a determination on what to expect, but you don't know where it's going to come from. So then you go to the tarot and you can get even deeper. So it's kind of like a layering, so to speak.
Gotcha. Wow. Yeah, that's really interesting. Have you seen or do you have the Tarot of Dreams by Ciro Marchetti? Have you heard of that before?
I do have a couple of decks from Ciro Marchetti. I don't know if it's the Tarot of Dreams.
The Tarot of Dreams is the one that has all the signs on it, all the Western astrology signs for each card. He
Oh,
assigns.
yeah, I don't have that one. I have two of his other decks though. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm
So
not sure if he does the signs in the rest of the decks or not, but I just wondered what you thought of that, and if you make that same correlation that each card
oh yeah,
does.
the cards do they do represent an astrological sign. Like for instance, if someone asks me a love question and I get like a Knight of Wands energy that shows up and he's facing her, I'd be like, well, looks like someone's interested in you. He's a little flirty. He's a
Right,
fiery personality. He could be a Leo. He could be a Sag, or an Aries. Much more Sag energy with the Knight of Wands from my experience dealing with cards. But there's also a really good book by Corinne Keller, I believe, Corinne Kenner, and it's Tarot and Astrology, and she links every single card to an astrological profile, like Mercury and Gemini is blank, and Sun
right.
in yeah. So
I've seen some of those, and I know like some are even have like the planets. So it's like the full is Uranus. So and then some
yeah.
of them are not even the signs; they're hooked up with a planet. So
Hmm.
I find all this stuff just fascinating. I really do.
Hmm.
So thank you for all that information. That yeah, like Jackie said, yeah, lots
Thank you,
of
Jackie.
knowledge.
And
Yeah,
then, Lise, how often should one go for a reading? Minimum once a year. Get your Varshapal done, which is your annual chart, so that you can plan out the year and get some remedies going and just prepare for that. And everyone's going to hit challenges every year because Saturn's somewhere in the sky.
right.
So
Yes,
I can tell you where it's coming from. And then I also look at what's the Varshapal is the annual chart, and then you can look at the current state of situation and what's going in the chart then. So like for instance, the Varshapal in my husband's chart next year, Saturn is going to be in the second house. And so I looked at that and went, okay, I got to buy some dental insurance because it rules the mouth. And he's already starting to have teeth problems, and the insurance is going to cover the stuff he needs now. But then this time next year, he can get all of his implants done because the insurance will have tenured by then. So stuff like that. You can plan out your finances. You can plan out any health conditions that are coming. You can plan a relationship that might be coming. A friend of mine just entered her Mars Mahadasha, which happens to be in her seventh house. And I'm like, hello, relationship. So,
right.
are there any non-animal signifiers? Yeah, there's lots of different symbolism that comes with each nakshatra. The animals help describe how people can get along in relationships. Like for instance, if Scott were to come to me and he was in his Sun Mahadasha and it happened to be in Chitra, I would tell him as a tiger to stay away from the cows, stay away from the bulls, stay away. Basically, any natural enemy that you would find in nature, you're probably not going to get along with in a relationship, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
So, like for instance, I'm a lioness. I probably shouldn't be paired with an elephant. So
right. That makes
nothing
sense.
against it. I have friends that are elephants. It's just not a personal, deep marriage relationship because there's too many things that can go wrong, stuff like that. But then I also look at the Kundali chart, which gives me more. So it's not just the animal. The Kundali chart is very advanced, and it goes into many different. They use it in India to determine marriages. Like parents go to a Vedic astrologer and they have the little boy and the little girl's chart, because mostly these are heterosexual marriages that are planned in India, and they determine whether or not they should be uh, together based on
Really,
yeah, because the yeah. So
wow, that makes sense in a way.
Yeah, arranged marriages usually involve a Vedic astrologer, a Jyotish practitioner in India. So,
Wow, I did not know that. Did
hmm
not know that at all. That's really interesting. Yeah, lots of people coming in. So if I don't say hi to you, um, please forgive me. Caught up in the conversation. There was one more that keeps coming, just question after question. I just find this totally so interesting, and I love astrology, but I wish I knew as much as you do. I know what it was. So I pulled up my astro chart on AstroDentist, and I know you asked me what degree of something was in my chart.
uh-huh.
I could probably find it for you now. If you
Hmm.
want to ask me that question again, I forgot what it was.
Yeah. So where's your sun? Where's your moon? As far as because those are the two big ones. That's the ego and the emotional mind. So
Okay, and that's they'll be aligned with a number by them, right?
yeah, just give me the degree of the sign that it's in.
Okay, Scorpio Sun 8 degrees.
Oh, you're at the very beginning of Scorpio. Okay, yeah. So that would be let's see.
And moon is 10 degrees Capricorn.
So that would be 8 degrees of Scorpio. That would put you at yeah. So that would put you in Hasta. So the magic hands. And then
Oh,
what
okay.
would be your moon? That would be
Capricorn in 10 degrees.
Capricorn, 10 degrees.
Let me make sure that's right. Yes.
Oh wait, no, not Hasta, Chitra. Excuse me, Chitra. Okay. And then
Oh, it is
Capricorn.
Chitra.
So Capricorn 10 degrees, what you would do is minus 25.
Uh-huh.
And so let's see. Let's go backwards. Oh, wrong
So you said I'm
section.
a Chitra instead of the Hasta now?
Yeah, yeah. You're either Chitra or Swati. So you said it was 8 degrees?
I believe so. Double check.
Okay.
Yes. 8 degrees.
Yeah. So you would be God on the cusp between Swati and Chitra. Now, Swati is ruled by Vayu. It's the self-going star. It's got a double-edged sword to it. It's okay. You have to be really careful with this one. It's the power to scatter like the wind.
Oh,
Let's see if I
wow.
can see it.
Yes.
Okay.
See it. Oh, wow.
Yeah, and
Quite
Vladimir Putin has this. And what I think is really interesting is if you have a sword, for example, because it's Swati's represented by the sword. Um, it gives you the power to basically use your sword to conquer anything, but whatever you conquer, you have to pay back. So, like, Vladimir Putin's a Swati, everything he's doing right now, he's gonna have to come back and pay all of that back because it's a double-edged sword. That's how Swati works. So it gives you the power to just cut through anything and to do whatever you want, but the bill comes later. So, you can use it for good,
gotcha.
you can use it for evil. That's how
The
astrology works.
karma comes in there.
Oh, yeah, that whole thing is based on karma. So, and
Right.
whatever we do in this life, carries into our next birth. So,
Right.
oh, good.
That's
Yeah. Well,
awesome.
I'm teaching a workshop, and that's going to be starting next month on the 13th. It's every Saturday. It'll be at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern, about an hour and a half for 12 weeks. So you can sign up at my website if you like. But yeah, I will be teaching a full workshop on astrology. It'll be a lot of fun. And I
Awesome.
do read charts in class too. So you'll get your chart read every week too.
Oh, that is so awesome. So that's astrologicaltarot.com, correct?
Hmm. Yep.
Okay. And if one of the mods can put that, even though it's up there, having it in the chat would be great too. So everybody knows how to get in touch with Michelle. So that has been amazing. I feel like I've learned so much in just a little amount of time. But thank you for that. And we can go ahead and do, Michelle's agreed to do some questions with us. So if you guys want some readings done, we can do that. Let me see. Let me unstar this. If you would make sure no third party or political, just my usual or legal or health, because we're not doctors or anything like that. So if you want to, it is in random order. So I will try to get to as many as I can. I can't promise that I'll get to everybody, or we might be here all night. So, but if you want to put your question in caps for me and emojis, that would be great. And if you do want to make sure that your reading is read, then what you got? I'm stumbling over my words. I think the Mercury retrograde is still getting to me.
Oh, yeah.
Wanting to go backwards. So in my
Same here.
so if you do want to go be at the front of the list, then just go ahead and use one of the links down below. And if you guys would tip, that would be awesome. I will honor that. If you are at Michelle's and you tip for Michelle as well on her channel, then I will honor that as well. So just let me know. We go by the honor system here, and let one of the mods know, because especially when we're doing the readings, we're not always watching chat. So make sure that someone sees that, and we will go ahead and put you first. But if you want to go ahead and put your questions in, and thank you, Mary. Welcome too. I didn't get to say hi to you. Yeah, I think Michelle's amazing. So,
Oh, thanks, Scott. You're awesome too.
and here's Tony and the squirrels. There we go. Yes, absolutely. She's got me every time. Let me see. I have my Vedic ascendant and moon in Sag. Any advice for May?
Oh.
Okay, we can do that first.
Well, you're finally out of Sati Sati, so that's good. Or ascendant moon, yeah. So Saturn is off your moon, off your that energy there. So that's good. So you can actually start grounding yourself again. And oh, do you want me to read? Is that what we're doing right now?
If you want to, yeah. I thought
Okay, yeah.
go
I'll.
first if
Did you want to start, or did you want me to start?
I'm sorry. Yeah, you can too if you're able to. I don't know.
Yeah, I did pull one card for you, Lady Silver. And I will say, you know, my husband is a triple Sag in the Vedic as well. I get along with them fabulously. You are beautiful, beautiful people. But the main thing I got for you is now's the time to start grounding yourself. Determination. I got Mudlahara. So feeling secure in your being needs to be the main objective. A crystal that can kind of help you with this is red jasper. It's very grounding. Also, I'm getting tiger iron. Okay. So know that the dynamics of this lifetime, they're very complicated, and there doesn't exist in the earthly dimension an environment that's free of trauma, that's free of blockages, that's free of lessons. We're all here to learn the dirty stuff. Okay. So the red, this is the red and the Ganesha's in right now. That is the first chakra. It's referred to as the Mudlahara. And it's associated with keeping our lives sustainable. It's about trusting. It's about belonging. It's about accepting. It's kind of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's the basics that we need in order to feel safe. So when the root chakra energy is in balance, you're very centered. You're very grounded. You're healthy. You're vibrant. You have like an unlimited tap to like physical energy, and you can feel secure in your life and just display a lot of really good common sense. But when it's not when it's out of balance, it can cause us to lack the sense that we need in order to get the things that we need done. So okay, so they're asking you to work with spirit to create a sense of feeling rooted, to lift any heaviness that you might be feeling, and focus your attention on the color red. Allow yourself to feel joy, energy, creativity coming back into your life. Because, you know, Saturn was in Sagittarius, as you probably know, when we hit the coronavirus. That's when it was at the peak for you. That's when Sati Sati was really difficult for you, and you're finally moving out of that. So you're moving into time of love and happiness, which is good. That's what this card tells me. But you need to start protecting yourself from those fears and anxieties that you're still carrying around from the previous years of Saturn being on your moon. Okay. Just remain positive, remain open to possibilities, and doing this will really strengthen your root chakra and create stability and inner strength. And Saturn rules the root chakra, the Mudlahara. And so there's some mantras that you can do if you're in Vedic astrology. Om Shaniye Namaha. Om Shaniye Namaha. Om Shaniye Namaha. And you can do that via mala 108 times every Saturday. You could also feed the crows on Saturday. Going out in nature, taking what I call tree baths, help with that energy as well. Just letting all the oxygen from the trees flow through you. So yeah, that would be my main advice for me. Hope that was helpful. And I'm sending you love, Lady Silver. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you, Lady Sword. Thank you, Michelle. That was awesome. So I haven't picked any cards because I was totally transfixed by what Michelle was saying. So
Aw.
I will pick your cards now, Lady Silver, and give you a real quick reading. Most of the info for the astrological readings will be coming from Michelle, of course. But I hope to get there one day. I really do. But I've got the Chariot for you. So this is about victory and success. Oh, and, put myself forward, I guess would be okay. All right. So I've got the Chariot for you. So this is all about pushing forward and just keep going, and the victory is in sights for you. Okay, so I love that you're coming out of that. I can't say what Michelle said because I can't remember what that's hard. But you're coming out of a more troubled time and into a better time. And I can see that here. And this is the Five of Cups, what you've been struggling with, and then you're coming out of that. So you're able to see those upright cups as well. And then I've got the Page of Cups for you. So this could be an emotional time for you to find possibly new love. That could be relationship. It could be, just partnership or just a new friend that is coming in, business partner. But it looks like something new is coming in for you. And I want to pull a contemplation card for you. Let's see what you get. Your contemplation card is action. Okay, so there's some kind of action that needs to be made here. So keep pushing, pushing. The Chariot is about action because you have to push it. It's usually you see like in the Rider Waite, they have the two Sphinx that are in front, and they're not moving. They look like statues. Well, how is the Chariot going to go? The charioteer has to find the strength within to push that. I think that's why strength comes after the Chariot, is because the strength is what pushes that Chariot to go forward and go to the right direction so that you are, in the right frame to have these good things come in for you. But I see good things, and just make sure you're taking the action that you need to make sure that things are going to go in the right direction. But no worries, I agree with what Michelle has. You guys, good things coming up. So that's what I got. All right, let's go back here. Oh, we're in a new frame. See, I'm just playing around with this stuff. Oh, can you? Oh no, who is on mute?
It's me. It's okay. I
Oh,
said this is fun. I didn't want to hear you like banging my cards around.
oh, sorry. I muted myself too, just because my cat was up here squeaking on the cat tree.
Oh.
So yeah, I didn't want you to hear that. So, and then when you did that and I couldn't hear you, I thought, oh my gosh, did I leave myself on mute that whole entire time through the reading?
No, you're fine. I would have told you.
All right, awesome. So let me see who else we got here.
Oh, and Lady Silver, I've got more where that came from. So yeah, that's my next class is on mantras and remedies. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Lady Silver, for being here. And let me take this one down. All right. And Emerald Buddha, I know you gave us some information too. I'm going to try to find it for Michelle here. Message from Spirit Guides. Here it is.
Okay. Is that Vedic or Western? I'm going
Vedic.
to Vedic. Okay. Vedic ascendant. Oh, okay. Excellent. My husband's Vedic ascendant is in Gemini. That's very cool. Sun in Aquarius. Okay. So you're very much the humanitarian. Let's see. Moon in Virgo. Okay. Okay. So that you might have a Hasta moon. So this is just message from the guides?
Right. Message from Spirit Guides.
Okay, I'm gonna dip into Kyle Gray a little bit too, just because they asked that question. We love Kyle
I
Gray.
love Kyle Gray. I have all his decks. He has a new one coming out in November, Michelle. that's going to deal with the masters as well. A lot like Keepers from the Light, I believe. Keepers of the
Okay.
Light, which I
Yes,
think
this is
I
Keepers of the Light.
have.
This is Lady Portia. She popped out for you, Emerald Buddha, and it's divine order. Do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding here, and for me, the color purple is really stands out. So working on your crown chakra this particular month is good. So connecting with source, sitting in meditation is what they're telling me. Whatever you've got going on, I got the victory card. I got 6 of fire. Okay, this is very good. This is achievement. This is victory. Good news is on the way. Public recognition, rewards, things like that. So whatever you're doing, you're moving toward victory, which is a good thing, right? And then, and that flew out of the deck for you. So that's important because how the cards come out usually tell me the energy of how it's going to manifest. And then I got Sun in Pisces. This is where the energy needs to go into your spiritual practice. Okay, because Pisces is all about that sattvic, pure Atman that lives within us and accessing that source and sitting in meditation. And I call it's the voice outside of us until we're able to kind of get the ego under control, completely under control. Okay, so and you had that. You'd be Buddha. So you wouldn't be, you'd be Buddha. So that's what your guides are saying is tap in. We have more things that we're going to show you. Maybe some leveling up is going to be happening, which is always awesome. And this is the overall energy I got from you. I got the hopeful. This is from the Wild Goddess Oracle. And the power of prayer and meditation can wake you up, renew your faith, help you attune to your needs, and align with your deepest truths. So your guides are telling you to meditate. They're telling you to sit in silence, and just really tap into them and the messages that they have coming for you, coming from you, coming to you. This Mercury retrograde, Scott. But yeah, so that's the main energy that they're asking you to tap into this month. And this just tells me you're a beautiful, amazing spiritual being and that you already have all of this set up and you just need to sit and do it. So they're encouraging you to do it. It's going to bring you victory, like the highest of highest victories. They're not material, they're actually spiritual. And you know that because you're also into this, into your practices as well. So that's the main energy I got for you from your guides. Hope that was helpful.
Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome.
That was awesome. Okay, so I got a couple here, and I've been firing some questions on biology. I got you, and Jessica, Patty, and Janice. So I've added a few more. Again, I can't guarantee unless you donated. I know biology, you said you donated last time, so we'll get you next. And then, see, that's from Michelle's. Okay, so we'll honor that and get you, and then see who is after that. So I'm going to go back to Emerald Buddha because I don't want to get off the path too much. Speaking of path, you got your path. I'm going to move myself over here. I'll get used to this eventually. I promise. There we are. All right, so we got your path. So we're talking about your path here, and it says, have courage to follow your own path. Yeah, it's an individual game. We're here for each other and we have each other to lean on. But at the same time, it's an individual road that you must choose and that you must go down. So follow the path that speaks to you. And I think this is the path of tranquility, is peace and just being, at ease and rest. Take the rest that you need. And I think the spirit guides want you to do that as well. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Okay. You can see the rainbow encircling this. I love that. The rainbow to me is about community. So even though, you got your own path, just remember your path is full of people who can help you as well on your path to get to where you're going. And that could be the rainbow that's encircling this person here, which I believe is you. And then you got direction. So follow the direction that you need to go in. And just this is to me the badass card, kind of like the Queen of Wands in a way. And it can be the Seven of Wands as well, where it's just a badass card. You don't want to mess with this person, but at the same time, they're full of love and kindness and gentleness, but they don't take, they make sure that their boundaries are very strong as well. So just look for your boundaries and make sure you have those, that people don't overstep them and you don't overstep them. And I think you have got a really good next couple of weeks, even month happening, and it's for your own growth. So you've got growth coming in. So I think we had that card, in fact, on the last reading. So I see this coming in to everyone a lot. We are all here to learn and to grow. So this is a time for growth. And so there you go, Emerald Buddha. I hope that resonates with you. And let me put us back together here with Michelle. All right, let's see where we're at. And I'm going to take this down. And welcome anybody who has come in. Angel Wings, I see you. I don't know if I missed anybody else, but welcome if you guys just came in. Let's see. We want to go to Balaji. Balaji, I don't have your question though. Let me see if I can find your question, okay? Okay, is this your question? Maybe this is the question. I want to become a millionaire. Can you guys pick for me a card and tell your reading about it? What do you think, Michelle?
Well, I don't know where you tipped Balaji last week, but I didn't get it. That's one. But that's so
Okay.
I don't know where you sent it. But if you want to become a millionaire, what kind of like are you talking about like material wealth, I'm guessing? Because I can tell you where your guides want you to focus. But we're not here to basically tell you where to buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
So that's not what we do here. So um and that's not what your guides want you to focus on based on the cards that I pulled. So but I will give you a reading. So the main thing that you need to focus on is laughter, delight, being happier with your current situation. Okay. We're all born with the gift of laughter. Laughter is our natural medicine. And the true wealth that we have in this life is health. Because if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. Okay. You can't enjoy any of the stuff that you have. This material asset that we carry around our bodies um, it's more important than the stuff we have in and around us, if that makes any sense, the material stuff. So that's kind of the main energy that I got from your guides. And if you look at Ganesha here, he's holding a stylized conch and notice that it curls counterclockwise. And Vishnu, he's the preserver in the Vedas. His goes inward clockwise. And so this conch is Shiva's conch, and it is the reversal. Okay. So basically, what this is, what your guides are trying to say is we're trying to break up stagnant energy in your life. And that stagnant energy is, it's your, how do I say this? The stagnant energy is your preoccupation with the material. Okay. If you go to most swamis, most sages, most people that are happy, they've already determined that becoming a millionaire and doing all of those things, that doesn't necessarily equal happiness unless you're spiritually minded. Okay. It comes from within. It doesn't come from out here with that stuff. Okay. You would know that. I'm looking at your symbol there. I know you study the Vedas and you study the gods and goddesses. So this is very much a part of that. Okay. But what they're saying is natural. If you choose to laugh more, it can be a natural diversion to break up any of the stagnant energy that you're carrying around. And when you laugh, there are no other thoughts to come to mind. So it can induce physical changes in your body. And it just makes you feel better for hours. It's going to improve your energy a little bit. And it's taking away some of the negative stale energy that they're showing me, and they're breaking it up. Okay. There's a depiction of Ganesha, and he was born from Shiva's laughter. So I think that's why he stepped forward to do that. And so your guides are helping you lighten up through laughter. And by doing so, you're going to receive some immeasurable benefits, more than money can ever buy. Okay. By having a more lighthearted approach to all things that come your way, you're going to feel healthier because laughter is the best medicine. So laugh, have fun, enjoy time with friends. That's kind of what your guides are saying for you to do. All right. I did pick what you're working through, and I got Pluto in the 3rd house. You're working with your communications, the way you come across to people. And there's going to be some transformation in this area so that you can improve both spiritually and physically, materially, in this area regarding your communications. They're actually showing you being very pushy, being kind of in people's faces a lot, and that might work within the community that you're in now, but it's not going to work down the road. So you're being asked to change the way in which you communicate to fall more in line with the divine voice and less with your egoistic voice. Okay. And again, we're all working on stuff like this. Okay. Um, and then I pulled some interesting care cards. I got that. I got beauty ritual, so spending more time on, your appearance and things like that. And then I got look for fairies. I don't know if you're tied into fairies or what they call yakshas, little nature spirits in the Vedas, but they're out there and you might be able to see them. Okay. And you said, I'm trying healthcare business. Okay. Well, I will say, not a lot of healthcare practitioners, especially nurses and things like that, do it for the money. And if they do it for the money, they're not in it for the right reasons. It should be because you care for people, you are interested in health, you find it fascinating. Like I go to a dentist, Dr. Bott, and she is like one of the best dentists I ever have. She calls herself a glorified tooth nerd. She didn't get into dentistry for the money. She got into it because she loves teeth. So I think that's why I got the laughter card for you. If you're going into healthcare, pick an area that makes you really happy and that you're really interested in. Like, for instance, I could never be a dentist because I think mouths are kind of gross. But I could be a dermatologist because I think skin is fascinating, So pick what works for you, is what I'm saying. And go with that and focus on the joy that it brings you and the joy that you're bringing other people. And then you won't really be as transfixed on the money because you'll have your ducks in a row. You'd be fulfilling your dharma and your purpose. And if you want to schedule a career reading with me, I could look at your Dasamsha chart and I could point out all of your gifts that you've inherited from past lives and whether or not which ones have been carried into this one and what you're supposed to be doing. Okay, so if you're looking for a direction in your career path, that is something that you can sign up with me for. Okay, hope that was helpful. I'm sending you lots of love.
Awesome. Thank you, Michelle. All right. So I pulled a few cards for you on Balaji, and I've got the Eight of Stars, and this is the Eight of Pentacles and the Rider-Waite deck. And it's all about working to get what you want. So it makes me think of and sorry if that intrusive language, but the song Work Bitch by Britney Spears, it makes me think of that. If you want all these things, you want to be a billionaire, you better work, right? You go to work. If you wanted this, you go to work. If you want that, you go to work. So it's just telling me for you to work and to make your dreams come true that way by manifesting it, but it also requires action on your part. Okay, so I got that.
And oh, Scott, really quick,
Yes.
Bali G, sorry, said that they were studying laboratory. And look at the card that you just picked.
Yep.
It looks like a lab technician, doesn't it? Like
Does.
potions and yeah.
Totally
That's
does.
awesome, Scott. You just,
Look at that. Yeah, thank you for
yeah,
pointing that out,
yeah.
Michelle. That's right. And then for your advice card, you got the Five of Crystals, which is the Five of Swords. And this is just a don't be a victim or play the victim. It could be instead, make sure that you're just being upfront and right and fair with other people as well. So you want to make sure, some people always easy to get to the top if you do certain things that are unethical. And this is saying that's not going to get you to where you want to be. You need to be, upfront, honest, and just go about it in a good way. And that's the easiest way to, you know, manifest in money if that's what your prime, goal is. But I want to agree with Michelle because this is the happy home card. This has nothing to do with money. So I think that this sums up the readings, both of them, very well. This is you have to have happiness in yourself in order to feel like $1,000,000. It doesn't matter how much money you have. What it is how much happiness that you have in your life. Okay, so, and that's somebody special that you have in your life, the happy home card. So I would just say that that is what this is, and having a happy home and having happiness within yourself. So look within yourself, look within yourself for inspiration. This is your card I pulled from the contemplation cards. Look for yourself for the inspiration. It makes me think of that Chicago song, "You're the Inspiration" from the '80s. Just, you might want to listen to that, and just remember that you're responsible for your own success, for your own happiness, and for your own well-being. So as long as you're doing those things, I think you'll wind up in the right direction, and that's having the happiness that you deserve. But it's by finding that within yourself. Okay, so that's what I got for you. Bring Michelle back here. There
Beautiful,
we go.
Scott. And
Thank you.
Balaji, I love your name, Balaji Chandran. So Balaji, I'm guessing linked to Balakrishna, which is and then Chandra, which is moon. And so Krishna is connected to Chandra, our moon. So they're saying if you have a Gita at home, read at least one verse a day, and then reflect on it, because that your name is connected to the Bhagavad Gita. Okay.
Awesome.
God of money and wealth. Oh, Kubera or Lakshmi? Balaji. Guess another. Okay.
The thing there, I didn't see that comment. Sorry.
It's God of money and wealth, which would be Kubera. But
Okay.
Balaji. Okay, Balaji is another name. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Right. I think this is just more of the Vedic astrology and tying it into the tarot. Lisa wanted to know, do you tie in crystals as well, Michelle?
Yes, gemstone therapy is part of Vedic remedies and practices. Like, for instance, right now, if someone were going through sati sati like me, you can like that's Saturn going over the moon. That would be pearls and lapis, which I'm wearing, or you could wear a sapphire, something like that with pearls, something like that. So every planet has a gemstone and a remedy attached to that gemstone. So
That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't realize that. That is so cool. And thank you guys for your questions directed there to Michelle. We really appreciate it, and I'm learning so much from your questions as much as I am my own. So thank you guys. Let's see. I just want to make sure. Let me see where I'm being called to here. Take that one off. So we just answered it. Here's another one we could just throw in there for personal for Michelle. Do you use Astro Dice?
I've used them before, but I don't have my own set.
And I have something that you don't have in astrology that is really interested. I have Astro Dice.
There you go. We actually
I don't know how to use them.
we use shells in Vedic astrology, so it's a whole thing.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
a prajna, and so we cast the shells, and then we can give a prajna chart, which is a chart of the moment. So we do casting. It's just a little different.
Wow, that's cool. That's really cool. Okay, so Andrea, are you still here? Andrea Hector, let me know if you're here or not. Any channel message from my father Hector? He passed away in 2019.
Okay. So the main. Am I going first again, or?
Sure, let me put you in that hot
Okay.
seat here.
Sounds good. I'm just making sure I'm doing it right.
Oh,
Uh,
it's fine.
okay. So I got the homebody. So we just got through COVID, and what your guides are asking you to do, and maybe dad, because he'd be a guide now, is to kind of get out of the house a little bit more, spend some time with friends, try to be a little bit less of a hermit. Okay. Enjoy the secure base you've made for yourself and your loved ones, which is good, your homebody base, but also make some time for you. Okay. That's what's important, because you've got a lot on your plate. All right. I also got that you need to start defending your beliefs and your decisions. Okay, I got the 7 of fire here. And standing your ground and choosing your battles wisely is what I tell people when I get this card. So Novit Spirit does have your back, because you see she's riding this beautiful dragon. And then behind the dragon, all of these arrows are coming. She's not firing the arrows. She has her own weapon there. So basically, what they're saying is, we've got your back. Okay, your guides have your back, and your ancestors, which would include your father. Okay, that's the main thing. And then this did come in upside down. So there might be a project that you're working on right now that might not be coming to fruition or as quickly as you'd like it to. Okay, so practice some patience with yourself moving through this. But you're working on an exciting new opportunity and career advancement and things like that, which is all great. But this is eclipse season. All right, so this is the season that we, start to make changes because we're heading into spring. But just be patient with any projects or goals that you have right now, especially during the retrograde and the eclipses. Kind of wait until that's all over, and that'll be mid next month. Okay. I got paying attention to what you're putting in your body is another thing that your guides are bringing to your attention. Okay, just paying it and you're okay. There's some stuff that the family ate and did together that wasn't very healthy, and your father's acknowledging that. So, nourishing your temple, taking really good care of your body and your physical form is what your guides are stepping up and saying. Let's see what else. If I can let me go to my ancestors deck here and see if Dad comes through. Oh, yes, very clear. Okay. Oh my gosh. I don't know if he has any connections with Egypt, but it's there. Now, when we pass through what's called the limiting adjunct, which is this body, we actually go up a couple of levels. Okay. Like for instance, a tree would be like 1 unit of life. And like an animal would be like like a mammal would be like 6 units of life. We're at around 7 or 8 units of life. If we're like superhumans, we would be 9. When we become ancestors, like we step out of the body, we go up to an 11 or a 10 or an 11. Wow. So it's possible that he's remembering past lives and going through that chapter. Okay, so there's something attached to Egypt, and there's some kind of unrequited love going on that he's working through as well on the other side. So he's working through his stuff. He's continuing to do that. He passed away in 2019, so he's already the time doesn't exist over there, so you can't really measure it from when they left and from when they're here, but he's definitely working through some stuff. I don't know why I got this card, but I will share it just because Spirit brought it up. And I'm not saying this is a message from your father because that would traumatize most people. This is just a message from your guides. I got the sex card. Okay. All right. I wasn't gonna show it, but it came out. Okay. So you know what this means. I'm not gonna put your personal stuff out there, but that's just something your guides want you to focus on a little bit. Okay, Andrea? I hope that was helpful. I'm sending you lots of love, and I'm so sorry about your father's passing. Know that he's with you, okay?
All right. Thank you, Michelle. That was awesome.
Oh, thank you.
That. Get this back together here. Okay, Andrea, I haven't seen that you're back in the chat. So if someone, Jackie or one of the mods, could put in a timestamp kind of around when we started for Andrea, just in case she wants to go back and watch this later on. But I'll go ahead and see what comes up for me because I was watching Michelle. So let me pull some cards. Give me just a moment. And I am starring your questions, guys, as you're coming in. Just keep in mind that we will probably go with the first ones that we got, just out of respect for those who have been here the longest. And then if we're not able to get to all your questions, I do apologize. We have a lot of questions going on right now. So if you guys are patient, I really appreciate that. I've got all beautiful cards for you, Andrea. I've got the Knight of Cups. So I think this is your father telling you how much he loves you and just handing you the cup. That's him handing you the cup and saying, I love you so much and want you to know that I'm there for you. So he is watching out over you. He wants nothing but joy and contentment for you, the Sun. Okay, so he wants you to have success. And then I got the Four of Coins. So He just wants you to know that you have what you need as far as possessions, but just make sure that you're not holding on too tightly to those, and that you are looking at the things that really matter in life, the joy, the success. Okay, and yeah, so that's what I got there. Let me pull you a contemplation card. Yes, hi Rachel and Zoe as well. So I got humor. So yeah, Michelle got the sex card. I got humor. So maybe not taking things so seriously, and just having fun with life. Life is also about being able to have fun. And if you think back over, times in your life that you remember the most, I can almost guarantee, at least for me, I can only say for me, but I remember funny things, that happened and with my friends, and it's all about making good memories and laughing and joking and being there for each other, right? So you got to have humor. So that's what I got for that. I'm gonna pull you a couple other cards here since we didn't get to you this morning. I know. Dedication. Okay, so you got dedication, the dedication card. So I think your father wants you to know that he's dedicated to being there with you, and he, just like the Knight of Cups, he's there for you, and to watch out over you. And that's what I'm getting over and over again. I'm here for her. I'm here for her, right? And just he wants you to know that he is one of your guides, and as Michelle was saying, one of your ancestors as well. So have faith. That's all about believing in something that we cannot see. Okay, that if we didn't have to, if we no one had faith, we wouldn't believe in the wind because you can't see the wind, can you? You can only feel it. But this is all about having faith, and that's why the blindfold is on there because you can't necessarily see that, but just believing that he is there and knowing that he is there. And by knowing that he is there, you'll have proof that he is there because you'll start manifesting things in that show that. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. And that's what I got for you, Andrea. So hopefully you'll get to rewind and see this. I hope so. Thank you again for the timestamp. And Kristen Louise is here. Hello. Welcome, welcome. And let me put you back over here, Michelle. All right, and Sun Psychic Jean is here. Hey, welcome. Just did a live with her this morning, so good to see you. All right, let's see where we are at. Kristen says late as usual. That's okay. You've been pretty early, Kristen, a few times. So thank you, Mary. I appreciate that. Okay, let's go ahead and see who else and get to. Are we doing okay on time for you, Michelle? You're on mute.
We're okay.
Okay on time?
We're okay for now, yeah.
Okay, just let me know if it starts to getting too late here. So, because the questions just keep piling in, so unfortunately we won't be able to get to everyone. Let's see. We'll just go ahead and cut off the questions for now, just so they don't come in anymore. But we'll try to get to the ones that we have. Not going to be able to get to them all, but we will see what we can get here. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to go with Jessica. I have a message from my spirit team, Pisces Sun, Leo Rising, Taurus Moon in Vedic. Okay.
Okay, excellent. So, Pisces Sun tells me you're super sattvic, super spiritual. Leo Rising, you're a queen, my dear. And you got that Taurus Moon, which is very material. So you've got the water, you've got the fire, and you've got the earth. That's a good combination to have. Keeps you grounded, but spiritual and a leader at the same time. Okay, so my Ganesha Oracle loves you because I normally every now and then I'll get a card for someone, and I got 3 for you. So Ganesha really likes you, and he's one of my guides. So the first card I got was generosity, Compassion for others is kind of a natural result of being aware and conscious of your own feelings. And when you're generous in spirit, you take responsibility for your life. With that Pisces sun, this tells me that you do have a lot of spirituality. Is part of your spirit, is a part of your personality, which is a beautiful thing because the sun represents the ego. But then you have that Taurus energy, which means that you can work with spirit to assist you to step up and do the right things, especially when you are helping others, living from a space with a very open heart and mind that kind of touches everyone in your presence in a beautiful way, because you can be a champion to others. You can support them. You can help them with that Leo Taurus energy. So that's actually pretty cool. They are saying to be tolerant of ideas and behaviors that may not align with your own thoughts, and spend more time looking on what is good and positive in someone else rather than what you judge as negative or bad. We all do that. I'm not saying don't use your discernment. Use that in spades and practice those boundaries, but just learn to embrace others' differences, especially because we're living in a really polarized world. As you're kind of doling out the blessings. Okay, I know you already do this because you got that beautiful Pisces sun, but that's just a reminder from your guides. They're just saying give freely from your heart. Um, oh, and they're saying choose to no longer do a lot of favors with strings attached. So they're really encouraging you to be generous, and they're saying that as you give, you may find that um, you'll be able to give easily and at the same time receive once the same is offered to you. So it's creating some sort of balance in your life that they're showing me. Something's off balance, and they're balancing it for you. And this is going to go a long way in eliminating the feeling of feeling like separated from others, and you can really experience genuine happiness in a more fulfilling way. So look for and assume the best in people, and just treat each others with respect and acceptance, and keep doing those beautiful things that you're doing and being generous, and things are going to go really well for you, because I did get new beginnings. You're starting a new spiritual practice of some kind. This is really exciting because when I first pulled this card, it was when I was getting into Joytish. So this is going to be a really exciting time for you, but it indicates that there's energy on the horizon that brings open heart opportunities for you. So just pay attention to where you're going, and notice that he has the Obaya Mudra there. That's a gesture of fearlessness, and he's offering you reassurance and safety, which dispels any fear, and it accords divine protection and bliss. So basically, uh, a new beginning can sometimes have a more deeper spiritual significance, because they're encouraging you to consider things from a fresh approach and how you connect with your inner guidance. That's why I mentioned Joytish. For me, it changed the way I thought about the world and my way I communicated and everything else. So something like that is coming your way. They're helping you release the need to try to bring others into your vision, because this is your own quest, and trust yourself and be willing to do the work needed at this time. Your inspiration is really positive. Creativity, finances, and love are flowing before you. Ask your guides to assist you with this new energy and this opportunity that's coming your way, because it's going to bring you a lot of laughter, a lot of delight. You're really going to love what you're doing. Okay, so I'm excited for you. Those are some really great cards, and I did pull some self-care cards that you can do as you go through this journey. I got Be Still. So this is the corpse pose in the asanas. So this is the most important one, because it's going to allow you to relax to the point where you can release and allow spirit in. And then I got using your hands in some way. Okay. So when I find that I'm creating art or I'm doing something with my hands, it gets my mind out of that that loop it keeps itself in. It clears the mind a little bit. So being still, doing something with your hands to kind of engage yourself is what they're saying to do. Oh, I'm so glad that resonates. All right, Jessica, I'm sending you lots of love. I'm going to let Scott take over now.
So many things to do. Unmute and move over and get the question back. And all right, Jessica, here's for you, and then we'll get Linda G at the end of this, and then we'll probably go ahead and close. So here we go with the Emperor is what I got for your first card. And I think this is great because the spirit team is saying, hey, you got things under control. This is your present card. You got things under control, or you might need a little bit more to have things under control. And this is, I'm feeling outward, like the justice card, how that's an outward balance. I kind of feeling that because you got this and then you got Ace of Wands. So this is definitely moving in an action type of way. This is about a new passion, new creativity that could be coming in, and something that can be like being offered to you, Jessica. So I think that there might be a new opportunity that's coming in. I think you should definitely take it. And because you got the star after this. So you got really great cards. This is all about having hope, healing. So this is going to be a great time for healing for you and just for learning, what it means to grow and what it means to go through some of the experiences that might be of, negative vibrations, but it's going to help you and make you into a more positive and spiritual person by going through those and learning through the lessons. So I'm interested to see what kind of contemplation card I got for you. I'm being called to two, so I'm just going to pick these two. Awakening. Yeah, I feel like there's something that is coming in that will be brand new for you. So to help you on your path, I think there's an awakening. This could be even a spiritual awakening. We can have more than one spiritual awakening in our life. That's what I believe, anyways. And then you got the trust card. So trust in yourselves, trust in the spirits, in the angels that are around you, and more importantly, trust his source and trust in yourself that you are connected and doing those things that like Michelle was talking about, being meditative and just looking towards um, just positivity is what I'm saying, making sure that you're surrounded by positivity as much as possible, and any negativity that you're going in, learning what that is and turning that into positivity is what I'm getting. So let me pull one more for you, and that would be positive minded people. So boom, right there, got that, being around positivity, positive minded people. So that's just going to help you grow and learn even more. So that's what I got for you, Jessica. I hope that resonates. And let me put Michelle back here.
You gotta
There we
love
go.
it when our cards just go boom.
I know. I just hit it. I'm like, I think I just said that. So
Yeah, you did, and then it came up. Of course, you can't make this stuff up, Scott.
absolutely. Okay. Do you have time for one more, Michelle?
Sure.
All right. So we're going to get Linda G in here, or Linda, not Linda G. Look at me, Linda de Gonzalez. I've done that before. Of this taking her for Linda G.
Aw.
It's Linda de Gonzalez. Can you tell me what's coming up? And look at all this stuff that she knows about. I don't know this stuff.
Okay, so your sun's in Aquarius and Dinesh Nakshatra. That tells me that Saturn just went over your sun. What that normally does is it creates an identity crisis. It can change our workplace, what we plan on doing in our life, because the sun is the father of Saturn. And so when Saturn goes over the sun, it's like a darkness. Okay. It also has us pay back some karma. You have this, I know it's because my moon is in Danishta and I just went through it. So for me, it was more of an emotional upheaval, but for you, it's more like a recheck of the ego. Okay. Now your Leo is rising in Purva Falguni. That is opposite of where Saturn is right now. So he is aspecting both your sun and your moon for the next 2.5 years, about 2 years now. So just be aware of that. Your ascendant there, so paying attention to your health, um, just making sure that you're going to your doctor's appointments, going on walks, things like that, because Saturn is looking at your ascendant, which is your body. My husband has Leo energy in his chart. I have my Venus there, but it's in my fourth house. And for us, we're dealing with a lot of real estate issues. Okay. For you, it's more along the of your ascendant, your body, your rising, your health. Okay. So pay attention to your health, pay attention to, I guess, Sun in Aquarius, that would be your relationships. Okay. Because that's your house of relationships. That's seventh house. And then I did pick some cards for you. They're good. Okay. The first one I got was Innocence from the Whispers of Ganesh Oracle. And it's simple gestures of love and respect prevail over even the toughest of hearts. So if you're having issues in your relationships over the next couple of years, um, okay, they're saying focus on lightening up your aura. So you can be kind of soft and still, because then that's going to give the universe an opportunity to assist you in creating your desires. So be willing to release any cynicism that comes from some of the lessons that Shani or Saturn is going to give you. And if you've noticed yourself becoming more critical over time, just gather some more experience. Sometimes, like being more familiar with the situation can cause you to kind of lose touch with your innocence, like that childlike innocence that we carry with us. So it's only natural to expect like a similar outcome as you've had in the past. Um, but know that, okay, so change and transformation are possible and they're coming. Okay, that's why you're kind of going through these little upheavals. Okay. You're being offered an opportunity to approach your situations with renewed peace. He's testing your patience. That's always fun. If you're making changes to your job situation, like I mentioned, relationships, or even the direction of your life path because of that Sun over Saturn. By the way, he's coming back. He's going retrograde and he's going to do it again in November. So just be aware of that. Okay. He did it in February, March, and now he's going to do it again in October, November, December. So just be aware that he's going to be crossing over your Sun again. So approach that time with a sense of exploration, kind of an excited curiosity of a child. Try not to take it too seriously, and be willing to let go of any preconceived ideas that have developed over time in your mind, because Saturn's trying to break those things up and allow your heart to kind of be centered and in a place of peace, regardless of what you're going through. Okay. So your guides are asking that you call on them every day to renew your mind and refresh your thinking. So say, renew my mind, refresh my thinking. And with their assistance, you're going to be able to contemplate each situation that you encounter, ask spirit to support you. Remember to pray from freedom of fear, freedom from worry, any unhealthy obsessions that might control your thoughts or harm your soul. Just be accountable for your decisions and their results. That's the main thing I got from your chart and from my card. And then they also said focus on your mood lahara. Now, again, this is ruled by Saturn. So practice grounding exercises. Okay. Let's see. I know Balaji mentioned that he wears a sapphire on his middle finger, a blue sapphire. So she, sorry, Balaji, I don't know your gender. But that is a remedy for Saturn. But given that you're a Leo ascendant, I wouldn't recommend it. I'd do something a little softer, like lapis lazuli, which is what I'm wearing today, or something else like that. But the main thing they're saying is karma yoga is the best way to appease Saturn during his aspect in your chart, which is selfless service to others, donations, giving without expecting in return, stuff like that. Because I did get hope and truth for you, relationship wise. That's what's coming your way. And what really stood out to me is the truth card, justice. So justice will be served. And Saturn is the karmic teacher. So he's creating balance and fairness in your life, Linda. And then I got the star. And usually when I pull this and I'm like, yay, this is a beautiful card of, spiritual renewal and hope and just beautiful things. But then I saw these guys and they said hello to me. These little cats right here. So this tells me that your guides include cats. Okay. So just when you tap in, know that they're there and that they are within and around you. And so, yeah, just pursue the truth, pursue justice, and then try not to take things too seriously as they come up, because Saturn's transit over any planet is difficult. Okay. I'm sending you lots of love, Linda. I hope that was helpful.
Thank you. That was awesome, Michelle. Appreciate that.
Of course.
Coming in here. All right, Linda. So I've got some different cards for you, but I don't know if you saw me holding up a card when Michelle held up the star, but for a preview, you have the star in yours as well here. So the first card I got is the Nine of Swords. So this is being resilient. This is all about the bounce back, like an athlete who's playing basketball and they're known as the best athlete. Let's just say Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan is known for being the best basketball player, arguably, of all time. And he makes, 56, 67, somewhere around there percent of his shots, and that's considered really, really good. And why am I saying this? Because what about that 30%? He's missing. He's missing. But you have to come back and forget that you've missed. And the best athletes and the best way for us to learn is to have that bounce back, right? So just have amnesia when it comes to things that you've possibly done wrong, except for, hey, I'm going to learn that I do it a little bit differently this time. Put the shot up a little more gently, or do this a little bit differently next time, and use it as a learning experience. And then I got for you to choose wisely, and just don't let, again, these decisions get in the way, because that's all they are, is just distractions. Instead, what your gut feeling is. So that's the direction that you should go in May. So if there becomes a decision that you want to make or need to make, just keep that in mind, that your gut will tell you which it is. So just think about that, and go forward with that. And then you have the star. Mine does not have cats in it, but it has lots of stars for you. And I'm just thinking of how much you know of astrology. That is awesome. I didn't know you knew all that. So this could be your love of astrology, and being able to even learn more. And who knows, the things are I'm losing the words again. Thank you, Mercury retrograde. Yeah. So just keep going forward. And the limitless is what I was trying to say. The opportunities are limitless, as to what you can do. And this is also about healing. So remember to heal yourself and take care of yourself. And what I got for you here is an oracle, is the compassion part. So make sure that you have compassion, not only for yourself but for others, but yourself first. And you can see how the tree's kind of leaning down. Looks like the tree is grasping another one, but in another way, it looks like the tree is kind of wrapping their arms around themselves. So give yourself a big hug, and just realize that you are the most important person in this journey. And if you're loving yourself correctly, then that's just going to take you the extra mile, if that makes sense. And let me see, I want to pull one more for you. Communication. So your communication is key to just saying what you need to say, and clearing out your throat chakra, which sometimes can be difficult. But making sure that what you're saying is coming from a place of stillness. And what I mean from that is, when you're speaking, you'll have that thought. But what we don't know a lot of times is that we can pause after we have that thought. We don't have to automatically say what we're thinking, right? So communication gives us that gift, and you have the gift of being able to communicate, really well. So I think that these are all just awesome cards for you. Just don't let decisions get in the way. Know what a badass you are, and look for cats to help guiding you. So that's what I got. Let me go ahead and bring Michelle back here and get this off.
Yeah, and I believe someone said, yes, the star is linked to Sun and Aquarius, and we both got the star.
The star.
Yep, our tarot cards are in sync, Scott.
Yes, they are. Definitely. Well, Michelle, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. And
I appreciate you too.
This has been wonderful. So thank you, everybody in chat, because you guys make it possible. And what is that there? The Aquarius?
The star.
The star. And
and this is Tarot and Astrology by Corinne Kendler. So, yep.
I'm going to have to look that up. Okay. I got to write it down or I'll forget. Well, who's the author again?
It is Corinne Kenner.
That name sounds familiar. Okay. And I know you mentioned the Farbers earlier.
Oh, yeah. I have all their stuff. They're awesome.
The Enchanted Tarot. I have that.
That was I had the Enchanted Love Tarot. That's one of my favorites to use in relationship readings. It's so good.
Oh, is it? Yeah, the Enchanted Tarot was my first gifted tarot deck. So I
That's
got that in a special. Yeah, I
awesome.
got that in a special place. I don't read with it, but it reminds me, like their art and everything reminds me so much of my grandmother and my grandmother's house that she had. You know, these pictures that she would make, and they would be stuffed with things, but it would make like a 3D effect. I don't know if you remember those old pictures like that.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that's what their art makes me think of, or Amy's art
Well, she's a
makes me.
collage artist, yeah, and she does
Right,
tapestries, and I have one of her jackets. I mean, she is so talented.
right, right. You have a jacket from her. That's awesome.
Yeah, my husband found it at a used place just for 30 bucks.
Oh wow,
I know, and it fit me perfectly. And
that's
she
awesome.
her jackets are couture, and they're a lot of money, and so I just went, "This person doesn't know what they have." So,
No,
yeah.
they didn't know at
Yeah.
all. Well, again, thank you everybody in chat. I appreciate all of you, and hope to see you again soon. Michelle, what have you got coming up soon? Anything
Oh,
right away?
yeah, yeah, like, as you know, Scott, Tanis and I are on every single Wednesday at 4 o'clock Pacific, 6 o'clock Central, and 7 o'clock Eastern. We usually have a lovely guest on just like yourself, like we last week. We'll have you on again, we love you. And then, this week, we have Gerald from Tarot Stash on, so that is gonna be a lot of fun,
That will be a
and
lot of fun.
yeah, we love Gerald too. And then, oh, we love you too, Linda. You're so sweet. Yeah, I pulled out my Danishta card for you. This is the card for you, the Star of Symphony. And yeah, you're a very beautiful star. So anyway, so the next thing I have is a Vedic astrology workshop, and that's going to start May 13th. It's going to be 12 Saturdays, an hour and a half, and it's going to be at 7 o'clock Eastern. So if you want to join that, you just go to astrologicaltarot.com, click on classes, and you can sign up there. It's going to be a lot of fun. I read your chart in class along with other students, and we look at what's going on in current events, and I teach you just the basics of Vedic astrology, and we get really into it. So it should be a lot of fun. Thank you all for subscribing. And yeah, I just want to thank you, Scott, for having me on your show and introducing me to your beautiful community. These are just such great people. I loved reading all the comments, and I love joining your chat too. And it's fun to be on this side of the screen. Thanks for
It
having
is.
me.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for being here. Okay, so we will go ahead and sign off. And thank you again, everyone. And again, if you are on Michelle's channel or on the Facebook group, we'd love for you to come over and subscribe to both of us. And
Mhm.
if you're in my group, please make sure you go over and subscribe to Michelle. And I've seen where a lot have already done that. And so you
Oh,
should be getting some numbers, I hope, Michelle. So, all right, we're going to sign off, and you guys have a wonderful day and evening, and we will see you soon. All right, bye bye, everybody.